My name is Rachel Webb. I'm General Manager here at South Raines SUD. I take care of day-to-day, everything that comes in has to go through me. I take care of the meter readings, I take care of when the guys bring in stuff, I send them out for taking care of the lines. Basically, I'm just the person that everybody comes through. I'm the go-between. So when customers call, they talk to the ones in front. If they have something, then they go to me, and then I send it to the guys. Just kind of someone there to be able to take care of all of it. Our district is located outside of Emory. We are in Raines County, but we do like the outlying rural areas of Raines County. So we have a big area that we cover where the city covers inside city limits. We are responsible for getting water to the customers outside of the city. And so we may have miles and miles of water lines to get water to certain people. So we have a much larger area to have to take care of and maintain. I think one of the hardest things about being able to not have it all right in front of me is we have customers coming in that want to put in a new water meter on some property that they bought. It may be raw land that hasn't had any water to it before, and we have to try to look at the maps, and these maps were created 40 years ago, trying to figure out where they're at, where the water line runs, to figure out whether we can it requires a road bore, what the cost is going to be to the customer. I don't want to tell them one price and then come back after and tell them no, it's going to be something else. So before I ever give them a price, I like to be able to try to talk to one of the field supervisor to verify that what side or the main is on. And if I had everything, once I get everything going like I want it, and I have all the mains and everything on the map, I can do that without ever having to bother the guys to do that. I can take care of it in here in office and be able to show them right then, not have to, I'll call you back with it. I'd rather be able to, when they come in, show them, explain it, and get all that taken care of. I met Marty from Beacon at one of our district luncheons that we had from our District 11, Golden Water Supply. They were just starting their program up with them, and they had them come talk to us and explain what they did, and I really liked what he had to say. So then I had Marty come and talk to our board, and they were all excited about it. We actually have a couple board members that work for the appraisal district, so they know they're familiar with the aerial imagery, and they were very impressed with them. And so that made them where they jumped on it. We were able to get started, and I've enjoyed working with them. Beacon's been really good. I've talked to Marty several times. I've talked to Taylor. Taylor I can call, he'll come out when they had actually GPSed our meters several years ago and had it on a flash drive. But it was in a different format, and so I told Taylor about it. He came out, we sat down and were able to input all of it in, and so we actually were farther along than a lot of places because we already had that done. But if it wouldn't have been for Taylor coming over and helping me, I wouldn't have figured out how to get it from one file format to the other to get it inputted. And so they've been really helpful in getting everything taken care of and getting us rolling. With the imagery that they have, we can actually see a better image. Like, you could go to Google Maps and look at stuff, but it may have been from a year ago, and it wasn't true nature of what it actually looked like. We actually had a customer that when they had their property, when they purchased it, it was a bigger piece of property. Well, they only purchased a part of it. The meter happened to be on the other property. So and we didn't know this when they came in and took everything over and just put the meter over. Well, then somebody else got the other piece of property, and they're like, the meter's on theirs, trying to get all that taken care of. We were able to pull it up on the mapping system here, blow it up, be able to see exactly where the meter was, where the house was, and we were able to move it and get it. We had to move the meter, and the fact that we could move it on the system as well, that was very easy. I didn't have to call somebody to do it. We were able to move it on our own. I like that. And pulling the map up like that helped us a lot, being able to see. We were able to pull that up, see how far it was, and we used it as a tool to be able to do that. The GIS system that they showed us to use, I've been happy with it. There's some some things it took me a little bit to learn, okay, touching this, doing this, but I really like the mobile app that it has along with it, because we bought an iPad, downloaded it. I can go out, I've been working on trying to make our GPSing of the meters better. We have them all GPS, but I've been physically going to each meter, taking a picture of the meter site, uploading it to that file so that you can, even from here, you can click on it and see where that meter's at. And the functionality of the mobile app is one of my favorite things, that I can just walk out and I can turn the little where it says, the find me thing, and walk out and it will show me where the meter's at. If it's one that's underground and I'm looking for it, I can use that and find it. And that's one of the big things that we really wanted to be able to do. We wanted to be able to have, if we have new guys come in, to be able to just send them out with that and not have to go train them saying, okay, this meter's here. Normally if you're training a meter reader, it's going to take you a couple months because you have to show them every time, and you can't get it in one time. But with that, you can go in and use that and find it. And I tested it by going and doing, we had manual reads we needed to do, and I said, okay, give me so many, and I didn't have a clue where they were at, so I used that to find them all. And I found every single one of them. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. It doesn't matter where I'm at, I can use it. I don't have to have internet connection, whatever. I can pull it up on my iPad or on the desktop, and I like that it's easy to do something on the one and then share it back to the other. All of our lines actually mapped out on there, because that was one of our biggest problems is, like I said, our maps were done 40 years ago when the system started. They're old, out of date, and some of them have been updated when they've done stuff, but then some may not have. And it's, you get out there and they think they're going to fix a 3-inch line, and get out there and it's a 2-inch line, and so it makes a difference on what you're doing. And that was one of my things before I ever heard about Beacon, was trying to figure out how can we get all of ours without spending a ton of money through the engineers to have to go back through and figure it all out. Because the engineers they have what it was to begin with, but they don't know what improvements have been made. And so when I started talking to Beacon and found out some of the things that they could do, and that if we have the mobile app, you can go out there, and if you're on that line and you realize, hey, it's marked as a 2-inch, but it's a 3-inch, it's easy to change. And that's one of our biggest things, is be able to, the availability to be able to fix that stuff and try to get all of our maps. And once I get all that done, I plan on printing a big map with all of our updated systems. And that's one of my goal for trying to get everything done with it. I do believe that the software and everything that we have will make us more effective once I'm able to actually integrate it into the guys. Right now I'm in the process of, I'm still working with it, trying to get all the bugs worked out, like as far as our system, where if we've moved a meter or we've done this, I'm trying to get all that done before I actually put it on a separate iPad and give it to the guys to go out and do stuff with. Because I want to make sure I have it the way that I want it before we start, having them work off of it. But right now I've been happy with everything that we've done with it, and really, really excited to see where it takes us. Beacon, I think, has gave us a really good, the imagery. The fact that they can go and they flew over and you can zoom in and still see, the pixels, I guess, because, in some of it, if you go to zooming in, this distortion is awful. This, you can zoom in and see everything. And so the stuff that they do with that and their customer service, as far as trying to make sure that we're happy with it, that's went a long way. We started using it back at the beginning of the summer, and it just took a couple weeks of Taylor came over, and he had run through a little bit with me. We got the meters in, and then, like I said, I downloaded it on the iPad. I would take the iPad home with me in the evenings and just kind of, while I'm watching TV, play around with it, just so I got familiar with instead of just sitting here all at once, I just kind of play around. Well, I learned how to do a lot of stuff like that, and matter of probably a week or two, and I was able to do everything on it. We chose Beacon because of Marty and Taylor when they came to our board meeting, and the ease of talking to them and their customer service that they provide and the way that they presented themselves to the board was very excited about wanting to work with them. And after that, talking to them several times, I mean, I could call and they would answer any question that we had. And you can run into them at one of the conferences, and I mean, they'll sit and talk to you, and you don't have to worry about trying to, call an 800 number to get, customer service. You call and you get one of them, and they're going to help you. When you talk to them, I mean, you believe them. They're very easy to talk to. They explain what they're doing. They're very knowledgeable in what they do. And the fact that they were only about 15 minutes from where we are, it was one of those, they're like, anytime you need anything, call, we'll be right there. And that goes a long way. Just their customer service, I think, is one of their most appealing things is, their ease of being able to talk to them and how much they're willing to help.